welcome to Final Fights, brought to you by Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who is currently spinning around in circles with two staplers, pretending that he's John Preston. It's Adam Hodgins.
I was going to do a bit, Mark. I was going to do a bit where I did this whole episode with no emotion. Just like but you're opening with two staplers. I was like, it's so I could reach one stapler in my spinach right now, but I can't reach a second. But if I could, I would actually do it. And for the first time, then your intro would be 100% accurate.
So I really tried to keep a straight face on that. But as soon as I said it, the visual of you just spinning in circles with staplers made me pause and laugh.
Right. Exactly.
It couldn't be fluid. I guess you could be in a rolly chair spinning around.
I am in a rolly chair right now.
And you have two staplers spinning?
Well, I have one. I have one in my hand, but I don't have my second one. So I so close could do what you wanted me to do. I feel like I let you down, Mark.
You're gonna love this though. I got something good for us. So over our history of podcasting, we've talked about Lady Hawk and several other films. You and I have alter egos, and we're henchmen. You and I are henchmen in probably about 4 or 5 of the episodes we've done, somewhere around there. Now, you and I were the 50 henchmen, 2 of the 50 henchmen in the beginning that get shot up by John Preston because he's using Gun-Kata.
But that was actually only 2 actors.
Those 2, probably the same 3 getting shot all over the place.
No, if you listen to the director's commentary, it was 2 actors. They kept changing clothes and making them jump behind.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, they didn't have the budget on this. From what I've read, the budget on this was so low. They didn't have enough to finish visual effect shots. Diggs couldn't show up much towards the end, so they had to kill him off real quick.
They were putting cameras on skateboards and just pushing them down hallways to do shots and stuff.
Oh, it makes me so happy. But I think the industriousness shows in this film. It feels very epic at the end, but it's also very handmade, and I dig that. Now, you and I are henchmen.
Yes.
And we're 2 of the kind of stormtrooper-looking henchmen. Actually, we have motorcycle helmets on for some reason.
And we're driving 1990 Dodge Dynasty cars.
That's right. And we're told to guard one of the rooms at the end, and 2 gun clips slide down the hallway. What if you and I just kicked one in each direction?
So here's the thing. here's where I'm at, Mark.
Yeah.
In this moment where you and I are standing there and 2 gun clips come sliding in, our entire career has been guarding this throne room, if you will.
Yeah. Boring,
but safe. No one's going to get this far. We are. Yeah. Look, I would just play dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, if he's got this far, I'm not stopping him. Who do you think I'm just another guy. We're just another level on a video game, or another level of thugs to get through until you get to the boss. If this guy can get this far, he's going to get to the boss. So let's just play dead, sneak out the back after, face cutting's happening, and we'll go on and live our lives and with emotion this time.
That's a great plan, because these 50 men, they have excellent angles on Christian Bale. Since this is MFF Final Fights, I guess we should explain this movie. If you're listening to this, you've seen Equilibrium. Basically, it's people who, after the Third World War, are pushed to have no emotion, no art, no anything. Christian Bale starts having emotions. He likes a puppy. And then at the end, he goes and kills a guy who ends up having a bunch of art in his office and emotions. And then the world goes back to normal. Is that good?
Yeah, that's about it. It's essentially Fahrenheit 451, Brave New World in 1984 shoved together.
With some Hong Kong gun action.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I'll read Gun-Kata real quick. They talk about this in the beginning. Through analysis of thousands of recorded gunfights, the cleric has determined that the geometric distribution of antagonists in any gun battle is a statistically predictable element. The Gun-Kata treats the gun as a total weapon, each fluid position representing a maximum kill zone, inflicting maximum damage on the maximum number of opponents, while keeping the defender clear of the statistically traditional trajectories of return fire. By the rote mastery of this art, your firing efficiency will rise by no less than 120%. The difference of a 63% increased lethal proficiency makes the master of the Gun-Katas an adversary not to be taken lightly.
Yeah.
So when he Gun-Katas these 50 henchmen in the beginning, they are, like you said, they've been bored for years. So they're stressing. These are the same guys in Commando who miss Matrix with 6,000 bullets. They're shooting, but he knows in his head that the angles he's spinning. He stops and does a backflip and lands almost in the exact same spot that he stopped. and no one hits him. So he must know their training and where they're supposed to be shooting.
Yeah. Can I say to you, when I first saw this movie in like 2004, I think it was, I remember thinking, I saw it in a small theater in Toronto. I remember thinking, that's an idea I haven't seen in a movie yet.
As far as just like the clerics, the way the gunners shoot?
Yeah, the Gun-Kata, the whole idea of making the gun into a martial art. Like, you've kind of seen a number of things. You try a couple of things different ways, and you go to a movie, you've kind of seen those stories before. I remember this was the first time I saw that, and I was like, though this movie is kind of like a familiar beat, this is an interesting thing I haven't seen before, and I loved that.
And people are going to kill me for saying this, but the director, Kurt Wimmer, he established this in his backyard. This is how he came up with it. And it's just kind of dorky enough to be perfect. Does that make sense? Like,
yep. It
is dorky, but it's different enough from the familiar to make me really happy.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he kills 60 people in this final fight, and it's like a 4-step final fight. So he kills these stormtroopers, and then he slices up 8 guards, and then he just destroys Brandt, and then he has, if you and I had a 2-handed thing where we like slapped hands, if we met, knew like our high five, like our personalized handshake, I feel like it would look a lot like the battle at the end.
Yeah.
Between these two guys.
Absolutely. And so, but here's the thing. Now, this is Final Fights.
Yeah.
So my question to you with this particular film, where do you think the final fight happens? Is it when he puts the white suit on? Is that when it starts? Is it the final confrontation? Like, where does the final fight begin to you?
I mean, I guess if we're gonna talk about final fights, it has to be the battle at the end against McFadden, the counselor. So he does work his way through. He fights. Let's see, I keep forgetting his name. DuPont. So at the end, when he fights Angus McFadden, that is the final fight.
Correct.
Now, I will say, so he kills the stormtroopers, he kills the 8 guys with swords, and then Brandt is what I love. I love the killing of Brandt because it's three swipes and he's out. When I watched the movie on DVD, I did not expect that. I was like, because he leads up to it. I love this suit. I'm going to be in this suit for a long time. And he's
such a good villain. He's so arrogant.
And he's such a brat. And he's like, I can read your mind, man.
Even the bait and switch of like, oh, he's still alive and not in prison.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great moment. That was a great reveal. And you hated him even more. And I thought that was going to be the big fight. Like in Mortal Kombat, the video game, Goro was a bigger challenge than Shang Tsung.
Yep.
And so if the big fight was Goro. If you got past that, then you beat Shang Tsung pretty easily. And I thought that was going to be what's happening here, that he was going to be the Goro of it all. That was going to be the big fight. And then the governor was going to be just kind of a nothing fight. But it was switched. It was 3 swipes. And then the face slide was the perfect cherry on top of the cake for that.
It made me so, because now obviously we had Indiana Jones, but that was just a random swordsman. Mm-hmm. I had not seen, like you said, a Goro being wiped out so quickly in film. Have you? Is there? I mean, I'm sure if we did research on this, and we might cover another one in a final fight, but he went down quick,
fast.
Now, my issue though
is there was in Diggstown. Did you ever see Diggstown?
I have not.
Mark, you're a boxer.
I think we've had this conversation before.
Right. So, anyways, in Diggstown, Louis Casa Jr. has to fight 10 guys in one day, a 24-hour period. And so the second to last bad guy comes on is the only guy who's ever beat him, and he's like this big, scary murderer. And he comes in the thing, and then James Woods just gives him the thumbs down, and he takes a dive. And it was kind of like that Goro just takes a dive, and we're right on to the next one. So that would be the only other time I can think about it.
I wish the Goro fight in Mortal Kombat was the final fight, because that's a weird one as well.
Yeah, it is. I've always felt bad that in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Johnny Cage died right away.
Yeah. I love the way he did the Goro, and he beat Scorpion.
Yeah, no, he was my favorite person in the first movie.
He just nutshot a Goro. But so after all this excitement, right, we get Brandt dropping like he's nothing. We have the swordsman getting wiped out, the guns, the flips. Then he basically goes into a slap fight with Angus McFadden, who plays DuPont in this. Mm-hmm. So was this final fight a kind of a letdown for you? Or did you enjoy the hand fighting?
I enjoyed the hand fighting. I enjoyed the bullet grazing the neck. I enjoyed the again, when I saw this movie, every movie was trying to be The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
But this was different enough too that I was like, oh, it's something I haven't seen. And again, and it's such a like a dystopian like trope, the whole movie. Mm-hmm. But then when he puts his white suit on at the end, it shifts gears. Mm-hmm. And it really becomes just a beautiful piece of work for the eye, and it's just like it's engaging. So when he got to that slap fight at the end, I was on board. I was just like, what? And there had been enough surprises that I didn't trust the movie yet.
Yeah. Did you expect him to be such a good slap? I don't want to be insulting. I just don't know of enough. It's Gun-Kata, but they're essentially. What are they like? How would you explain this to someone who has never watched this final fight between DuPont and Preston?
I would describe it as a gun spar.
A gun spar? Oh.
Because when you're sparring, you're kind of like doing the quick jabs and stuff, but you can kind of get into like a rhythm when you're training. You're a boxer, you know this.
Yeah.
But, you kind of do the rhythm, boom, 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 like and that's kind of what it looked like just with guns.
They're very good at shooting marble. What do you call it? The poles around the room, the support beams.
Yeah.
They shot the living daylights out of those.
Absolutely, they did.
And you're right. It's like a sparring. When you have that, like the Bruce Lee movies where they have the wooden structure with the poles that stick out and they're kind of doing the different maneuvers on them.
Yep.
It's just that with guns.
Exactly. That's all it was, but it looked great.
How did DuPont have time to train like this?
I think that's all he does all day.
He just trains, DuPont?
Yeah, he's like that James Bond villain that never actually fights anybody but trains for it all day long.
Yeah. And then,
what else is he going to do?
It's so dastardly that he has beautiful art in his office too.
So again, the finale of this movie where like everybody up there had emotions and the art and they were living, it's such hypocrisy that because a villain that believes what he's preaching, like M. Bison in Street Fighter, believed what he was preaching. So you say, yeah, he's the villain, but at least he's committed. These guys were the villain and they did not believe they were preaching for even a second because they wanted the art, they wanted the feelings, they loved everything. They just didn't want it for anybody else. It wasn't enough, Mark, that I had a new toy. I wanted you to have none.
Yeah, they're just such jerks.
Yeah.
And I love there's a couple things I like. And remember when Brandt and Preston are training and he says to Christian Bale, "You're always practicing." And then he's like, "That's what makes you the best." And he goes, "Maybe I'm just better." That's his response. He was just better than Brandt. And I like that confidence in him. He just steamrolled him.
Well, that's the thing. He was never in jeopardy.
Never.
And you know what? I like that about a hero. Mm-hmm. When you establish, and that's kind of the challenge of a good action movie is you put Van Damme in a movie in the 80s. And the first act, you're establishing him as like the baddest fighter on the planet. And then the second act, you're introducing someone who makes him look like trash. And then the third act is him overcoming that obstacle.
Yes.
But in this movie, it was like we established him as like the best fighter in the land. Act 2 is like he's now feeling things. And Act 3 is like we are confirming he's the best fighter in the land.
And he even says it to people. He's like, "I'm just better." So I guess in a lot of ways, people might not like that because there's no hero's journey. So Van Damme in Kickboxer, see his brother gets hurt. He goes through the training. Then he beats up the guy. He overcomes odds. This one's just Christian Bale killing jerks.
But again, the hero's journey wasn't a physical one in this movie. It was an emotional one. He's overcoming the emotional thing. And then that scene with his son where he's like, "How long?" And he's like, "Since mom died."
Yeah.
And he's like, "And your sister?" And he's like, "Of course." And so it's this whole thing of like his kids were so aware of what was going on that they were willing to like be testing their dad at all, but they couldn't trust their dad. And that's an awful thing. So that, for me, that was like a heart-wrenching moment. But that was his journey, was becoming free to feel again, not the emotional, not the physical, I need to be the best fighter. It's I need to be the best feeler. Yeah.
No, I got to say, at first I'm like, man, this kid's a jerk. And then when the kid did that, it made me so happy. So there are neat human touches. Mm-hmm. And they also surrounded Bale with some excellent actors in this film.
This movie was such a sleeper and such just like talent harvest.
Sean Bean when he gets killed.
So good.
You gotta tread lightly, man. That made me so sad.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
it was a real, and again, I think this is one of those things where small budget, writer, director, and then like a committed cast all at the right time came together and created this kind of like beautiful little movie.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you remember this when I put up on Facebook, what final fight should we talk about? People wanted this one. Like a lot of people wanted this one. So why do you think people wanted this one? What do you think it is about this film? It's a cult classic, right? They didn't release it in theaters because they already made a profit on. It's $10 million to make. They made a profit.
So I saw it in a small Toronto theater after it came out on DVD.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's this little like artsy theater that would like put things like special. It was like $4 to go see it. The Princess Cinema or whatever it was called. And so I got to see it in the theater. And that's why I found out about it. But I think it's a twofold thing, Mark. I think first off, it's just a great final fight. It's just a great action. But I also think there's something cool about knowing something that isn't mainstream.
Yeah.
Like 9 out of 10 people you talk to about Equilibrium, they're like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" So, and I think there's something about like, this is like our secret code. You know what I mean? Back in the day before the internet, and you had a movie or you came across a VHS and like no one else knew about it, and then like you and your friends had this like, yeah, like we know about this, but no one else. There was something cool about that, and I think like sleeper movies like this are kind of filling that niche right now.
Do you think that 9 out of 10 people don't know about it, but that one person's Equilibrium, dude, that they just say, oh, that scene with Preston and Brant where he slices his face off? I mean, that's all right. So we talked about the final fight, but do you think the surprise, I think everything what you said is perfect. It's a community of us, right. And we love this movie.
I tested you in like our third or fourth podcast when we had made reference to Underworld. And I said, I don't remember, but I said, yeah, they stole the face slice from Equilibrium.
Oh, when Bill Nighy got face sliced.
Right. And then you said something about like, yeah, well, that was he must have gone to cleric school. And I was like, okay, Mark and I are on the same page.
Best friends? Do we just become best friends?
Yeah.
Because, listen, man, I borrowed this DVD from someone who borrowed it from someone.
Right.
If someone would have been next to me in my home when the face slice happened, I would have picked somebody up and ran around my house with them.
Yeah, it was so good.
And this is going to be crazy. So I hadn't watched this movie in a while. I totally forgot about the slap fight at the end.
Well, because your mind goes face slice.
Yeah. I legit didn't remember it. I remembered everything leading up to it and after. So maybe I was jumping up and down, and then I just maybe lost track of the slap fight. I did not remember that at all. And I was a little let down by it. But I think because of the budgetary restraints and all that, I think they had to do what they had to do because the fight with Taye Diggs was supposed to be longer. So maybe they stretched out the fight longer with DuPont.
Right.
And they had a very limited shooting schedule. So, I mean, you can't expect something super epic. But, yeah, it's just hard. I keep feeling it feels hard to get worked up to the DuPont kill. But I think it ends beautifully. And I kind of love that. He's like, is it really worth the price? And then Christian Bale says, I pay it gladly. And he kills the guy. And then he walks out to a better world. I think it's going to be a better world. So
100%.
It's a very optimistic ending. And it's just, man, I just got to tell you, and we've said it 8 times. So I love just how tough Bale is. And I get annoyed with movies nowadays. And we're going to be talking about Hobbs and Shaw soon. I love that film. And it's purposely goofy. But in these movies where you have these very large men steamrolling people, it's annoying. It feels more like an ego thing. But in this movie, it seems more like a character thing. Yeah.
And again, he's doing it emotionless. He has the moral compass of a villain for the whole first 3/4 of the movie.
Yeah.
Because he's going on no emotion, right? And so he's struggling with that. How do I embrace my humanity the whole time?
Watching him with that puppy, though, he's like, I'm going to take it for testing.
Oh yeah, no, like that. It was so tense, and they're like, don't look in the trunk, and they built the suspense in that scene so well.
And then remember, there's a big gunfight going on, and he sees these guys who feel. He's like, let's get out of here. He's like, we're not going to trust you. He's like, come on. They're like, no, you're going to shoot us in the back. He's like, come on. And they're like, no. I'm like, just go with Christian Bale.
Right.
I was like, God. So I found myself really invested watching this film again. And then the face slice happens, and I picked up my wife and ran around the house with her.
So, and I think this film can be summed up as it's a dystopian kind of that Marxist anti-societal story disguised as a high action movie.
Yep, I would say so.
So then you get your cake and eat it too.
I want to watch this in Gattaca back to back.
Oh, Gattaca's so good.
So good. Well, this was fun, man. Thanks for joining me for this final fight. I'm glad that we got to talk about Equilibrium. I mean, this was, man, I love this movie.
No, so Equilibrium and Snowpiercer are it'd be a perfect movie night.
Oh, ooh, that'd be a great movie night.
Yeah.
Get some bugs, eat them.
Imagine those two things were happening simultaneously in the same universe.
I just did. I'm going to write a book about it.
So the southern hemisphere is all frozen and the train's going around, but then in the northern hemisphere where it's warmer, Equilibrium's happening.
I could see it because
that'd be amazing.
I want Tilda Swinton and DuPont to hang out. That'd be interesting.
Right?
Can there be shoe throwing?
There has to be. It's part of the shoe kata.
All right, so you'd have the mom from Hobbs and Shaw. You'd have the guy from Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, this movie. We're going to have to make that up and just talk about it one day.
I'm in.
All right, this is good. Well, thank you for joining me. So for Mark Hoffmeyer and for Adam Hodgins, this is Final Fights. We'll see you next week.